Alright, what's up YouTube land? First thing I do is bump the camera. Let's just get that out of the way. Something I do on all my videos. Anyway guys, this is what we're doing tonight. I'm going to talk about the ZT566. I did an initial video when I got it. There's nothing out there on YouTube on it, so I wanted to get a video out there with kind of an overview of the knife and just kind of my initial impressions. I de-assisted it. And a couple of the guys on blade forums that have been getting these have been saying that there's, even when they took out the torsion bar, it doesn't flip very well. And I don't know what to tell you, because mine, right out of the box, I didn't even clean it. Actually, the only thing I've done is taken this apart is taking out the torsion bar. I haven't even cleaned it or anything yet. So, been carrying it every day for about a week now, and absolutely loving this thing. I mean, this is the perfect EDC for me. I really could carry just this knife and be happy, and that is a rare occasion for me. So, I had the ZT560. I've had, geez, how many variations of that? 3 or 4. And just had the black wash, and when I got this, I just never carried the 560. I just found it to be a lot bigger, and this is just like your perfect EDC size knife. At least for me it is. Now again, I take a lot of this into how big of a knife you want to carry. I mean, this is a 3 1/4 inch blade. See how nicely that flips? It's got about a 4 1/2 inch handle. I mean, I put the specs in the last video, and I'll put them again, but it fits my medium-sized hands perfectly. I mean, I have just enough hanging off the edge there. Easily have a forefinger. I like to have a little hang out of the edge of my hand, but not a ton like I did on the 560. It's got super good ergonomics, good jimping right there. But one of the things I love most about this knife is how smooth it is. I mean, it's super smooth. It just flips so nicely. It doesn't take any wrist. It's just a push of the button. And when I say the button, you know, a lot of people like to flip it like, you know, here's some wrist, not needed. If you just put pressure on that and push it down, it flies open. It actually really reminds me of the action of a Hinder XM18 that I had. Because that flipped, it was on washers also, flipped very smoothly. These don't have strong detents, so they're not going to fly open with like authority with, you know, like a lot of bearing knives like the Curtis F3 that I had, the Jason Clark Tanto. Not going to be like that, but it's honestly, it's like a different feeling. I actually really like it more than, I especially liked it more than the KVT on the 560 series anyway. The 801 was really nice, and I wish I still had that knife, and I actually plan on getting another one, but when the carbon fiber version, the bronze carbon fiber version comes out. But so it's super smooth on the washers, flips really nicely, and I'm doing this video as a follow-up. We're going to call this an official review of the knife, and I want to show you how the steel's held up for a week of EDC use, but it's just how smooth the knife is. I mean, it's even smoother than it was when I first got it. I mean, look how easy it is to flip. No wrist, just to push down that button. You can also flip it back like that. It doesn't flip as good. I find it best to just push it down like that. Flips open real nicely. It reminds me a lot of the Kershaw junkyard dog that I have. Runs on washers also. Flips very similar to this. So it's really smooth. Something about a smooth washer feel in a knife more so than bearings. Bearings feel great and are smooth, but something, I don't know. It's like the 550 series is super smooth. I brought this knife in the video last time, and I wish I would have had the 560 with me last time. I don't know why I didn't, but I ended up selling that to my buddy Eric. But these are very, I mean, look at the size comparison. They're almost the same size. I mean, as far as your overall length, the 550 is going to be a little bigger because it has the 3 1/2 inch blade. But as far as your handle is concerned, I mean, they're really similar in size. So if you've always liked the 550 and you want a flipper, this is your bet right here. Now I will say the 550 is quite a bit thicker. It's a much more substantial knife. Look at the difference in the scales. Let's bring that up closer, see if you can see that better. Hopefully the camera focuses, because it's going to be hard. So you can see even with the pocket clip that the 566 is about the same. With the pocket clip, it's the same thickness, but without it, it's quite a bit thinner. So it's a thinner knife. So it just carries really nicely. Now it's kind of, it's on the heavier side. It's 5.3 ounces, which for me is no big deal. And this deep carry clip's nice, so it helps a lot. I don't find it to be too heavy at all for EDC. I mean, I've been carrying it every day, but Some might. That might be the deal breaker for others, but for me, no big deal. So it's similar in size and to the 550 and weight to the 550. Obviously, the 550 is a titanium frame lock, where this is steel. Now, hasn't bugged me at all. I actually really like the way it feels. It's got a nice stonewash finish. I did add this peat gray LVS on there, and that's, you know, kind of a nice little addition. But I can honestly say, guys, this is like the perfect EDC for me. Like, I cannot think of a better knife for me to carry every day. I really can't. That'll change probably. You know, there'll be something new that comes out that blows my mind. But for now, this is the absolute like favorite knife in my collection. And you know, my collection's dwindled quite a bit because of medical bills and such. But I'm totally satisfied with this knife. I mean, I could literally carry this knife and be happy. The only thing I'd want to switch is, you know, maybe do like a carbon fiber scale or some kind of different scale material. Maybe, you know, bronze or polish the standoffs and screws. But other than that, you know, as far as the action of the knife, how it performs, it's been great. So, been using it for my typical EDC tasks, and I'm going to try really hard not to bump the camera because I'm going to test the sharpness of the knife. And my phone book's missing. Oh, there it is. So I've been using it for just typical EDC tasks. I did break down some cardboard boxes. I, you know, use it to open mail. I've cut string. I mean, just basic stuff most people do. I mean, I'm not gonna go out there and cut carpet or do anything crazy like that, and I don't think most people do with their EDC. Some might. So, but this I have not sharpened this knife. I've been wanting to, but I've been holding off just to see how it holds up. Yeah, I think that's pretty sharp. What do you think? Yep, been holding up just fine. Again, I haven't done serious testing. I haven't used the knife really hard. But people always keep asking, how's ZT's Elmax holding up? How's ZT's Elmax holding up? Guys, it's great steel. I'm sorry. It's not, it may not be the super steel that everyone thought it was, but it's really, really good steel. I mean, it holds an edge really well. That is crazy sharp. And I've used it for every day for a good week now. And again, light EDC tasks, so I didn't expect it to dull. But, you know, I did cut a lot of cardboard with it. I broke down a lot of boxes. I did, you know, just use it for regular EDC tasks, cutting fruit, food, you know, just, like I said, basic stuff that we all do on a daily basis, and it's performed just great. So, if you have any reservations on the Elmax steel, don't, because it's going to hold its edge just fine. Unless you're out there, like, you know, like we said, cutting carpet, doing extreme duty things, then you might see it start dulling, but I don't know. I've never seen it start dulling, so. And this is, I mean, how many Elmax knives have I had? A ton. And I've never had any issues with the steel, so just keep that in mind. I know that's kind of a controversial topic right now, and I'm not trying to get into that, but no problems here. You saw how sharp it was. That's the factory edge, and it's held up just fine. And, you know, I expect after doing another video in a couple weeks, I wish I might do, just to see how the steel's holding up, I'm expecting it to be just as sharp. I do want to sharpen this knife and put my edge on it, but, you know, kind of don't really need to, so why sharpen it? I mean, that's kind of me. I mean, a lot of guys like to sharpen it just to get that mirror edge, which is great. I like that too, but it doesn't really need to be sharpened, so I'm not going to touch it. So 566, the perfect EDC. There, I said it. Alright, perfect for me anyway, but I think you guys will love it. If you like ZT knives, there's no reason not to own a 566. Because if the assisted part, you know, thing was killing you, guess what? Buttery smooth flipper without this torsion bar. So there you go. You know, you saw some size comparisons of the 560. I did the scrambler last time. Very similar in size. It is quite a bit, a little bit smaller than the Junkyard Dog. Another one of my favorite Kershaws. It does have similar G10 to the Junkyard Dog and to this scrambler. It's not terribly aggressive, but it's you know, it's like a paramilitary too. I think I said that in my first video. Kind of what it reminds me of. Less aggressive than like an Emerson, but you know, not underly aggressive, if that's even a word. So that's kind of my thoughts, guys. But I did want to do this video just to kind of show the action. Like I said, push it down like a button, fly is open. Super smooth. You can see I'm using absolutely zero wrist. Oh, see, that's the only time that it hasn't opened up all the way on me. Which I'm okay with that, because that's going to happen every once in a while. That even happens on bearing knives. I mean, I had my Souther do that, my ZTs would do that, so it's not, you know, it's not going to perform as well as a bearing knife, but I want to say I prefer the smoothness of this knife. Like, there's just something about bearings, or washers that are smooth, and it just feels nice. I mean, I'm seriously still in the honeymoon phase with this knife, so that is my 566 review. I mean, I'm just trying to think of anything else that I want to add. I mean, it carries real nicely with that deep clip. You know, it does. Oh, that's another thing to show. Solid as a rock. No blade play. Lockup is 45-50%, if that. It hasn't moved at all. It's been like that since I got it, which I really don't. I mean, it won't move. It's stainless steel on steel, so it's not like that is one advantage to the stainless steel frame lock. But these are going to sell like crazy. Grab one when you can. I would absolutely love if they did a black wash finish on this. Oh man, because I really like that black wash finish, but the 560 and 300 are just a little too big a knives for me. So that kind of brings me to my next point I wanted to bring up is I've kind of found my EDC sweet spot, I want to call it, where I found the perfect, the ideal size knife for me to carry. I used to always want to carry big knives like the 560, the paramilitary 2s a little bit longer. I'm just thinking of the bigger knives I've owned. I mean, I've had quite a few larger size knives, and then I've had a few smaller size knives, and I've decided, like, you know, the Sage 2, Sage series, they're all just a little too small for me. This is the perfect size. This is about, like I said, a 4.5 inch long handle, 3.25 inch blade. I would like a little bit longer blade, but you really couldn't have. Wow, what is on the tip of that? Dirty, see? You can see some use there. If it'll focus. Anyway, there's something on the top of that. I think we use that to cut a burrito tonight. So, but that's just the perfect size. And I look at the Scrambler, which I was carrying for a week, which I really like as a good budget folder. Same, almost identical size. The 550 is one of my all-time favorite knives. Same length. It's a little bit thicker, but you know, it feels very substantial. So that's just kind of the sweet spots for me. I do have a couple new knives coming. I do have and we'll just kind of do a little bit of a channel update now. I do have a 770. Those are out. The aluminum handled version is out. I wasn't going to pick up the aluminum version. I was only going to get the carbon fiber, but I found out that the aluminum is the limited edition. The carbon fiber is going to be regular production. And I've been enamored with ZT lately, and it's about almost identical in size to this knife. So it's also Elmax, and it's also assisted, which there should be a detent hole. So again, I'm buying it to check that out, get the word out for everyone that yeah, you can de-assist the 770. There have been a few posts on Blade forums. I haven't checked YouTube to see any videos. They just started getting into the hands of people. Mine might be here tomorrow, most likely Thursday though. Depends. Dave Kershaw guy usually ships really fast, and he did ship fast, but you know, he doesn't have any control over the post office. So that'll be in. I'll do a video overview of that, and then a review. I'll probably switch to carrying that if I can kick this out of my pocket, which I really don't know if I can, because like I said, it's just EDC perfection for me. I've also got a Benchmade coming, and I don't do a lot of Benchmade stuff. 940. Everyone talks about how great of an EDC blade that is, and I really wanted to check it out, and I finally decided to grab one. I did a trade for my Sage 2 for one, so I always want to try that knife out, so we'll see how that one goes, because it's, like, again, right in that same kind of size as far as the handle is concerned, but it's quite a bit lighter knife. I think it weighs under 3 ounces, so kind of nice to have a really lightweight EDC as well. But I really could EDC this, and I don't really, I throw the terminology EDC lightly around lightly, excuse me, because that means everyday carry, and I don't carry the same knife every day. I have this one for the last 7 days. This has been my EDC, and honestly, there's not very many knives that I can do that with. I usually kind of get bored of them, and I want to switch them up. And I haven't got bored of this 566. It's just been the perfect knife for me. So pretty stoked on it. And honestly, surprisingly enough, wasn't high on my want list for this year. because I was like, oh, it seems a little small. It's it's assisted. It's a stainless steel frame lock. What? Because I was so enamored with titanium frame locks for so long that I wasn't really on my want list. But they came out, and I said, I'm gonna grab one, check it out, see how it is, because I've yet to find a ZT knife that I really don't like. So I thought I'd try it, and man, am I glad I did, because I'm in love with this thing. So I definitely recommend picking one up. $144 from Kershaw Guy. Really affordable knife. I've heard people say seems like a thermite, like a way more expensive thermite. Well, yeah, and it does share some similarities. It is a Hinder design knife, so it's going to look pretty similar. It does have G10. It's the stainless steel frame lock. It does have a longer blade, actually. The thermite has a Spanto, the 3.5-inch Spanto grind. But hands down, the ZT is a better knife. Just feels better. Made in the US, better steel. It just feels better, and it feels more substantial in hand. It's not, the thermite I found to be too thin. This feels just right. I do like the thickness of the 560, but I think this is a pretty good medium. And the scrambler is about, God, I've got my power cord in there charging this while I do this. Yeah, these are almost identical in thickness. They pretty much are identical. And I've really been digging this knife also. So this is a good budget blade with the Chinese steel. But so I mean I can see the similarities between this and thermite just because they're both designed by Rick Hinder and they have some similar materials. But don't be mistaken, this is much smoother. You can de-assist this knife. You cannot de-assist the thermite, and it's just a better made knife. I mean, not knocking Kershaw and their Chinese made knives, because I've owned a few and they're great. I mean, the scrambler is one great example. If you want a budget version of the 566, I would say get the scrambler. It's similar. It's almost identical in size. It does have a little bit longer blade. Very similar ergonomics. Man, this knife is comfortable. Every time I hold this, I'm like kind of blown away by it. It's just got the cheaper steel. This one's seen quite a bit of use, and I did some testing videos on the steel versus like an AUS 8, and I'll put that up on my channel here when I finish. I've done a few. I want to keep doing them, do a fair comparison. But so yeah, and then last thing for this video, I was thinking of doing something new for my channel. Maybe doing like a viewer request. You guys picking a knife for me to review that you want to see a review on that I haven't already done. That's maybe a new knife that's out, or maybe it's an older knife that you're really always been curious about. So feel free to leave me send me a message or put some in the comments. And if it's something reasonably priced, I could pick one up. Under $200, I'd say. Probably even under 150, and let's say the under 200 range would be probably doable right now. Other than anything over that is just not in the cards for me right now because of medical bills. But I thought about maybe doing like a video, saying, hey, pick from these 5 knives. Which one would you want to see me get and review? So kind of just thinking of doing something different like that. Just kind of tell me what you want to see. I mean, heck, it can be a budget knife. I'd gladly pick up another one of these budget Kershaws or Spydercos or something, and do a review on that. I mean, whatever you guys want to see. So feel free to leave comments after you watch this video, and I don't know, maybe we'll do like a contest around it or something. Just kind of been brainstorming lately, and just kind of thinking of ways to do maybe something a little new on the channel. So feel free to leave it in the comments, and as always, I appreciate the views and subscribes. Please like and share this video with your friends. Really like to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I know I'm like 6 something right now, so I got a little ways to go, but I'd really like to to grow the channel a little bit more. Anything else you want to see on the channel? I mean, I have done some gear reviews. Obviously it's mainly centered around knives right now. Have done some gun stuff, some other gear. If there's something else, other kind of gear you want to see me review, or a gun, maybe you want to see some of my firearm collection, whatever, just leave me comments, send me an email, let me know. So I'm pretty open to do whatever, because I do enjoy making these videos. It is a fun hobby, and I enjoy the what's the word I'm looking for, camaraderie, among knife lovers and gun lovers, and just your gear lovers. I really, it's a great community, so I like to give back any way I can. So alright guys, we'll see you next time. Look forward to a new video here either tomorrow or Thursday on the 770. Alright, we'll see you next time.